right? So you have all the jobs in your company until you don't. Kathy, you and I had a fun conversation on that on the last Ask Kate session, right? Is like, until you codify what that job is, you can't really hand it over. So for many of you, and this kind of goes into those who are ready for a sales assistant, the main job of a sales assistant is to get the leads onto your calendar. And so that means to me that you have marketing efforts, that you're in contact with leads, you're in contact with people over email, over social, where there's people that are engaged, or that you have a list that you're contacting. The job of the sales assistant, and again, if it's not someone else, it's you in your business, is to get these people onto your calendar. So how do you do that? It's the best tactic to excite leads, to get people on your calendar, is to create a free session with value, with a monetary value that has urgency and scarcity. I was listening to the Keto Dontist. We're developing an inflammation calculator. I want people to be able to, I want Anna to be able to calculate what inflammation is costing people that we're on the phone for. We're working on our Body Thrive sales engine right now. And so I typed into YouTube, because I have ad for YouTube, makes YouTube really fun, cost of inflammation. And the Keto Dontist, not sure if anyone here's ever listened to the Keto Dontist, but it was like the coolest thing. Has anyone ever gone to the dentist with their like children and left with lollipops? Has anyone ever had that? It's like the opposite of the Keto Dontist. Yeah. Dentists hand out candy. I mean, it's a business strategy, right? Like, keep feeding them sugar, keep working on those cavities. It's so sad. So this guy's making a stand for the opposite of that. And at the end of his 20-minute podcast, he made a quick pitch, and it was like, I have room to talk to like 1 or 2 people this week. It's really a busy week. What is that? Scarcity, right? He said it really naturally. It didn't seem like a big deal. It sounded like he was being really sweet, making an offer. Like, if you had something to talk to this guy about that was urgent, like, you could get on the phone this week, right? Urgency. So he's got scarcity and urgency. He didn't put a value on it, right? And I think for him, he doesn't need to. Some of you don't need to, but it's not a bad idea, especially if you're having trouble getting people on your calendar. You need to let them know the amount. We change types of sessions. I was going to say all the time. I mean, we probably add a few new types of sessions a year is probably valid. Whenever I'm like, we need a new type of session, because I want a different agenda, and I want to re-engage leads that have already, people go blind to the stuff they've already seen before. So I was talking with someone this week who she's like, well, I make an offer in every email that they can have a conversation with me and a link. And I'm like, well, how's that working? She's like, it doesn't work at all. Like, is there urgency? Is there scarcity? Is there value? No. So, okay, not including those things really doesn't work. And so what we want to do is to develop an awareness of like exactly what works, and start to test that, and also be willing to change and run new experiments and test new things. So here's an example, a body goal session. It's worth $149. I have 2 openings this week. You can schedule your session, and we'll get your ducks in a row. So we'll get your ducks in a row. That's just an outcome-driven statement. This is why you're going to do it. This is this week, 2 openings. Here's the value: scarcity, urgency, time-bound, money value.